All right, let's try this again. Can you guys hear me? The last time I forgot to make myself live or something weird. Anyone? Whew, hot. Just ran down here. Okay, let's see. Can you guys hear me? You can see and hear me. Okay, sweet. What's up, guys? How we doing? Matthew, what part of Texas? Nico, tore yourself away from your pillow to come. Let's see. And Bearded Peach, what part of Missouri? I grew up in St. Louis and lived in Springfield and Carthage for some time. Oh, awesome. I could never tell through YouTube software you can kind of get an idea of how much delay you have, but I can't see it in this. I'm using a different software. Absolutely, Kathy. Abilene. Okay, so I've heard of Abilene, but I'm not exactly. That's near San Antonio, maybe. Bops, we are looking to possibly move to Arkansas. Just FYI. I am getting a message. I wanted to pull my phone out, have it up. Nice. Fort Worth. So I'm way off. Okay. So he's closer to Fort Worth than that. So I'm still sweating a little bit. I don't know if you guys have been watching me deal with the shop, but I was trying to figure out what to do with the stuff behind me, and I decided that I was just gonna paint that wall red. So it's red now. Now I got to figure out how to decorate it. Excuse me. Rolla, my brother went to school. Rolla. Stockton Lake. We looked there too. We're looking at moving. We're probably not going to move for years, but we're just kind of looking at different areas. I want land. We like our dynamic where since I work from home, we like the dynamic of me being able to get the kids and stuff like that and still have my shop. But if I buy a shop someplace, or if I rent shop space someplace, that might negate that. So we've been looking at a couple different places. We have a kind of a laundry list of things that we're looking for. But one of them's land. That way, either preferably we find a house that has already a shop space on the land. But if not, I could build some. What's up, Alien? Also, just got back from Mexico, so cheers. I don't shoot whiskey, so that's a little mezcal. Mezcal. Got a couple of these little guys. The Omtech Red and Black. What do you think about the Omtech, Billy? Omtech's a good company. I mean, I wouldn't discount them at all. I'm good. I can't go that far north, Griffs. I need a setting for painted Kansas. So painted canvas. What do you got? 10 watt, 20 watt? I think I might have thrown mine away because the problem is I ran tests on a bunch of different materials and I had them all under the bench, but then I got the 20 watt and they're all out the window now. Yeah, I think I got rid of them. You just got to run a power grid, man. If you guys aren't here, hold on, let me find this. Pull this guy up. Well, here, I can take you guys in there, right? How do I present? Do I want to present? Do I have any porn that you guys can see? No, just no video file, present screen. Okay. Don't just. Okay, so I'm just gonna jump into this real quick. What? This screen. Allow. Select window screen. Oh, okay. There we go. Okay. So I forgot I can't do this. Well, I can do this though. Okay. So if you guys aren't using this website, o2creative.co.nz, definitely check it out for anything lasery. Go to laser tools and you can generate all sorts of test files over here for like curve tests. You've got your basic speed and power. You got your more advanced. You've even got these that'll give you kind of like what shading looks like in different things, engraved intervals, all that good stuff. Stop sharing. Let me grab that and put it in here. I always forget that I can do banners and stuff, I think. What if I want to? Here, let's just do this one. Don't show that. I was going to edit that. Let's see. Boop. Power grids. All right. So I have a question though. If I do this, you guys can't click. Can you guys grab that information off there? Or is it unclickable? Georgia. Georgia, I think, is too far away. So we have a radius that we have to be to my wife's parents. So it's still like kind of drivable. Oh, Bill. Yeah. Okay. All right. We'll run it through again. You can't click on it. All right. So here, I'm just gonna put it in here. And then can I pen this? I think I can pen a comment in here, can I can delete me. Okay. I don't know if that's helpful. So let's see. Again, Bill, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go so quick. Or wait, who asked me to go slower? You got it, Bill, or do you need me to go check it out? Okay, cool. So Jesus. It's for a couple of years. I've never been on one of your last. Well, welcome, Vineyard Farmhouse, and cheers. Let's pour the first one for you. Trying the unicorn spit and the nylon brush attachments. Love them. Also, are you brothers with Adam Savage? No, I'm not. I wish though. That guy's fucking brilliant. And I just blew my my monetization on this video. Not that I care. Going to say takes away from you. Okay. All right, Kathy. Duly noted. So a lot of what this live stream is going to be is about live streams that I'm planning on doing in the future. I don't know if I can I hate to do a poll. I think I can make a poll, but can I make a poll? Maybe I can't. Where was the banners? Hold on. Excuse me. I might just ask you guys in the comments. Brand, because this isn't it either, right? Okay. Ooh, I can do music. No. Okay. All right. Mainly, the idea is this. I remember my comments back. The idea is this. I want to. This will probably not happen. I feel like I'm just lights right in your face, isn't it? This probably will not happen all at once. Let me turn something off. 1 second. I feel like that one live is like right here, something like Tell us your most inappropriate joke. I see anybody like I don't know about you guys. Anytime anybody tells me to tell them a joke, I lock up and I can't think of any of the thousands of jokes I know. So the idea is this: weekly, probably not at first. I want to do a live stream in the shop, and we will basically be shopping ideas or materials or whatever. Probably laser based more than anything like CNC or anything because it's loud. But my first question, just go ahead and comment for me right now, and we can figure it out later. But like, what is so it will more than likely be on a Wednesday. It'll either be Tuesday or Wednesday. I'm sorry, Wednesday or Thursday. Excuse me. It'll be Wednesday or Thursday. If it is Thursday, it has to be during the day-ish. Like before 6. If it's Wednesday, it has to be like after 7. So what is and all I'm gonna do is try to figure out what works for for the people that are in here now. We will try that and we may readjust it later, but I want it to be more of a two-way street. I also mentioned the fact that I would like to, if you guys have if you guys have a business you're trying to get off the ground or anything like that, I want to try to introduce those in these as well. So if it's Thursday, it has to be before 5 Central. If it's Wednesday, it has to be after 7. So the sad thing is, I don't know how well this is. I will count you guys up, but of course, you know what? The people that really want Wednesday aren't going to be on right now. Anyway, it's just my concern. Like, this is what I run into. Like, obviously, like evenings are probably better for a lot of people in the States, but then I don't get my ancillary folks, which is like the rest of the world, right? So I hate to do that. Like, Nico's always bitching at me. Click on the poll option. There's a poll option. So okay, wait a second, Bauer. I'm in StreamYard. I'm not on YouTube. I mean, I'm on YouTube, but I'm not using their software. What I'll probably do is I'll probably put a poll on YouTube. Actually, I'll probably put a poll everywhere, but that's nice. Antonio's like, I'm at work. I shouldn't be here, but I am. And then the next question, I guess, is like, what do you guys want to do, man? This is your this would be your time. So would you rather would you rather me just pick projects and do them? Would you rather it be more of a Q&A? My thought is, like, if one of like, also if somebody got a hold of me ahead of time, like sent me an email prior to that and said, hey, I really want to do this or whatever. Some of it's going to come down to material. Like, if you want me to try to laser engrave what everybody asked me to laser engrave, which is like a gun pole or whatever. What's the top part? I don't have one of those laying around, so I can't just do that. So if there's something really specific you guys want to see if we could engrave or like try to get some power and settings on, I'd have to know that in advance. So what do you think? And Studio 76, you're going to see more fire now that it's getting a little cooler. I don't, with the lasers and the shop being air conditioned now, I just don't like to whip out the torch too much, like when it's 100 degrees, which is like 95% of the time when I'm in Houston. They're doable, like doing them when you feel like it. What is my favorite laser project? Man, my favorite laser project should be really easy. I can't say it's my favorite, but what I really like doing, and it's so funny because I'm sitting here with this 100-watt beast behind me, and you can do this on a diode. It's just like painted canvases. I think they look. I think you can dial those in really well. I like doing the painted tiles too, but I just don't really have any. Like, I have a stack. Like, of course, these aren't all like finished ones, but this is just a stack of tiles that I have, and I mean, some of them are better than others, but they're just sitting here on my bench. if I do like the canvases, I can hang them up. Yeah, I didn't realize I had it, Billy. Wait, no, who just said that? This thing jumps so fast. So there will be, we will be doing some Shugibon very soon. Fine power settings, plastic. A lot of plastic you cannot laser, Nicholas. Gabe, I probably won't this year. Well, I don't know. I can't say that for sure. Oh, it was because it started like a jet. So, I had this thing running earlier because I was checking something, and so here's the beast here when it's on. So it just kind of hums like that. When I run it, like the air assist comes on, so it gets a little louder. How obnoxious is that right now? I'm just kind of curious, like volume wise, if I'm doing a live and we're running something back here, because here's the idea: like we'd be running something live, and I would do it. And so basically, the laser would be running over here. Over there. Wait, over there. The laser would be running over there. So Rob and I have it running right now. But let me I'm gonna fire it up and just have it engrave Steve the Cowboy there again. 1 second. Can you guys hear me? So I'm still working on mic situation. My mic on my MacBook is a lav mic, and I can wear it anywhere. For some reason, it doesn't work with this computer. So we're working on it. Okay, so then, so I'm going to turn on the blower, and then I'm going to run this, and I'm going to try to talk over it to see how we do. What's up, Kevin? So that's not too bad, right? What's up, William? So Rogue, I feel you. I haven't found a good headset that I like. Usually my lav mic cuts out most of the ancillary noise. For whatever reason, I can just plug my my lav mic directly into my MacBook, and that may be an option. I may bring the MacBook out here, but I can plug my mic directly into the MacBook, and then it just comes up as an option. When I plug it in here, it doesn't. The Dad Cave just said some stuff. I don't know what he's talking about. What's a VST? Okay, cool. Oh, so Bob, you were wearing headphones right now. You can't hear any background noise? I may just leave this out. What's up, Stuart? Okay, cool. So these are things that I'm trying to figure out to be able to do with like on a live stream, right? So I don't want you to not be able to hear me when I'm doing it. Also, I feel like I need to mount this camera up so you're not pointing directly at that light. We'll work on that later. Cool. All right. So that's Cowboy Steve. That was my test today when I went to AP Laser University today. They have an image that you have to do on there. Interesting. The dad cave just over my head. I'm like, okay, I take your word for it, brother. Okay, so that's awesome. Like if it's coming through loud and clear, then I don't care. Other than I wouldn't mind giving my lav mic back, only because like when I walk over there, you guys can still hear me. Now I will say this: I don't have the exhaust on as loud or as fast as it'll go. So I'm just curious. I probably wouldn't turn it on like this unless I was doing like acrylic or leather or something anyway. But it's a big old fan, so. I don't know how much that changes. Can you hear that? That's cranked. See? Cranked. Woohoo. Really? So you can still hear me just fine. Sweet. That's awesome. All right. For the time being, I'm going to turn this stuff off. And then, so I guess then the next question is going to be, one, I really want to kick the tires on this bad boy because like I would like to find like a more of a use for it than just doing YouTube videos, because it is, it's an industrial machine. But I definitely want to, I don't want to steer away from X-Tool material or diode material, because a lot of, a lot of people want that diode stuff. So do you guys like, where are you guys on that? Like, what do you think about doing? Would you think that we should do, let's say we're going to do a two-hour live stream, which I might not be able to last that if I'm drinking the whole time. But would you want to do like a CO2 project and then a diode project? I mean, depending on how big the project is, obviously. What do you think? Like, what would that look like? Would you rather like sit here and troubleshoot an image? Let's say Stuart's got an image that he can't get to come through on his X-Tool. Okay. Would it be more interesting to like sit here and kind of troubleshoot it? Or is that like more of a one-on-one thing that I should do with Stuart? Like, is that information going to be, is that information going to make sense to you? Okay. And then also, and I'm going to address this in a video real soon, but, I love my X-Tool. I love my diodes. Okay. Let's be clear. But I also want to, anybody out there that just like, if you want to do like diode lasers as a hobby, totally fine. Okay. And all of these machines, well, obviously, I mean, if you want to buy the big one, go ahead. But all these machines are perfectly fine for this. If you're trying to build a business, you're going to want eventually to ramp up from like your X-Tool or a diode. Okay. What that looks like is going to be kind of what you're doing, but let's put it this way. I started doing keychains on the X-Tool, and I wasn't, and it's almost unfair because when I was doing keychains on the X-Tool, I was doing one-offs. I wasn't really paying attention to how long they were taking. But when I make keychains, one sec. Pardon the dust that's all over this. I haven't like cleaned it up, but these are the kind of keychains I make. Little Buffy the Vampire Slayer there for you. I can cut like on my small CO2 upstairs, and so I can't. I think one would take me about 30 minutes or something on the X-Tool. But hi baby. I can cut like a sheet of these in like 2.5 hours upstairs on my 40-watt CO2. I can cut a sheet of these down here in like 30 minutes on the 100-watt. So if you're building a business and you're starting to ramp up in sales and stuff like that, eventually you're going to want to look at maybe not something this big, but you're going to want to look at a CO2. You're going to want to look at something a little bit more powerful. So that is kind of where we're even if you're just like in your X-Tool stages right now, that's where we want to be, right? So my idea is to kind of, what's up? I didn't realize Rich came in. My idea is that I want to help you guys make your businesses or your side hustles, right? I want to help you like figure out what you want to do. And if I'm doing a lot of the testing for you, that's great because it's content for me and I can help you out. So it's a win-win for me. So that kind of stuff. Also, I want to see what this thing can do. Rich is here. So the Louisiana hobby guy's here. So I'm not sure if he has heard this yet, but I was talking to one of the guys at AP Laser and they were saying that I don't know if it was this machine or because they have more powerful ones, but they were cutting inch thick acrylic. I don't even know where I get inch thick acrylic to cut, but that's crazy. So, I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibilities for one of these machines to be able to do something like that. So we're not limited like thin stock in that case. And, the possibilities just become a little bit more endless. You all right? I'm letting the freezer. My wife has come in and out of the garage like 5 times. I have no idea what she's doing. Rich, I got to tell you so far, man, they're, and they told me this going in, but their customer service or their tech support is like top notch. They have 24/7 tech support and it wasn't a weird time. I called them during the day, but, I called and they were like, try this. Cause I couldn't get my, whenever I went home, it would just grind and I could not figure out for the life of me. I'm looking at all the limit switches and, I guess when in transit, one of the little, like a little metal piece fell off of one of the limit switches. And so they send you a cool little toolbox just with like replacement pieces and stuff in it. So I had some more limit switches in there, put one of those bad boys on, work fine. Exam project. I could want you to make me and send me. Nico, what do you want me to make? But yeah, so the idea is the idea is to have this once a week, hopefully once a week. Like I said, it'll probably be more like once every 2 weeks or 3 weeks until I catch my stride with it. But have once a week little meeting type situation, right? BS about whatever and like see if we can help each other. See if I can help you guys out. People give me shit about having the bigger toys in the shop, but the idea of me having the bigger toys is to let you know like what they can do and if they're worth it. The best inexpensive laser out there, I would say currently it's the Aster. I think I still don't know how to pronounce it. I'm sorry. The Atezer, ATEZR 20 plus, I think 20 something plus. But that's the one I just reviewed. It holds its own as a 20 watt versus the X-Tool. And, as Rich will tell you, it's less buggy. Has less issues. I mean, you're always the more inexpensive you get with diodes, the more inexpensive you get with any one of the lasers. You're going to get these little nuances that are going to be a pain in the ass. And it is 24 watt. You're correct. So Nico, do you want me to engrave it before you bend it? You're talking about your laminated rings, correct? So are you talking about like engraving and then bending it? Because I think I could engrave. I'm not the best at doing it. I've seen people do it, but I'm pretty sure I could engrave like an already bent ring with the rotary. I mean, we can try it. I got no problem with that. I mean, I actually, well, I don't. I guess the veneer that you use, does it have? Is it adhesive on the back, or is it just thin veneer? Aussie, yes and no. I would say even if you're using a diode, that you should be working in Lightburn. It's kind of like it's kind of like the hobbyist industry standard, and it's like $60, and you know it's not a monthly or yearly fee. You pay $60 once, and you get it. Now if you go from there to CO2, I think you pay another $60 to be able to do a CO2 also. But other than that, I mean, there is a learning curve, but I would say it's not nearly as steep as going from not knowing anything about lasers to lasers. I guess I really need to start reading these out loud. So I'm not just randomly saying stuff. Let's see. So Aussie said, is there a learning curve going from the Xtool diode to the CO2? And I would say there is, but I would say it's not super bad. I would say what I just said, actually. But yeah, if you guys aren't using Lightburn, learn Lightburn, man. It's more robust, it's more reliable, and it's just like, if you're ever gonna I don't know how to say it other than it, like, you just need to get on it. Stuart, I don't think the 10 watt will do aluminum. Rich may know, but the reason you haven't seen anybody engrave anything, or not engrave, but mark anything with a diode before, is because they didn't really have the power to do it. So that's the reason that 20 watt is so key. Now, somebody's going to prove me wrong and say, oh, if you do 75 passes at 100% power, 1% speed, it'll mark it. And they're probably right. But when I say it can't do it, to me, it can't do it in a reasonable amount of time. I mean, some things it just can't do. Like, you're never going to engrave or cut clear without, well, you're never going to cut clear. You're never going to engrave clear without some sort of transfer agent, things like that. But, you know, some people have asked me, oh, well, yeah, see, so when I say Rich, I'm talking about Louisiana hobby guy. He's saying the same thing. It just takes too long. At some point you get to a place where you're like, it's not worth it. Somebody asked me if they could cut 1/2-inch cedar or something, and the answer to that is I don't know, because why would you? Like, I would do that on a scroll saw or a table saw, or a scroll saw, or there's one right there. A bandsaw before I do that. I do it with a CNC before I do it, because it'd be faster. Okay, so Bob says, I want to, and if I skip you, say your question again. I'll get back to it. I want to be able to consistently make stuff. In parentheses, I come back to different projects, and things are not consistent, not really production yet, but makes a few things for family. So Bob, what's not consistent? So Billy says, I accidentally cut a slate coaster with my CO2 laser. I actually did that to a ceramic tile. I didn't cut all the way through it, but I can't remember. I did something on. I just got my CO2 upstairs, my full spectrum, and I had it set to cut instead of engrave or something like that, and it started like engraving the letters and like burning like halfway through all of them. Yeah, Billy, same thing, man. And Rich, I might as well just put you up here to preach, brother. I and most of us do, like, I'm more than willing. I love to help all you guys, But when I see people on like the discussion boards and stuff, and they're like, "Hey, what's the best power and settings for this?" I'm like, "You can't. It's a loaded question, man. I can tell you what works for me and my laser, but I keep up with them and I clean them, and there's certain things that I know are consistent on my lasers that I don't know what you're, I don't know on yours." So Todd, this is a new thing. This is well, I mean, I've been live before, but I'm going to try to make this more consistent. And fun fact, I used to live in West Virginia. I lived in a little town called Roncevert. Look it up. That place sucks. But it was beautiful. It was beautiful. People are very slow there. Let me just say that. Yukon. I'm finding that I'm finding out the laser box is very limited. LaserBox is very limited. LaserBox is the software that is there to just get your feet wet. They've released XCS, which is X Tool Creative Space. It is a little bit more robust. It's still in beta. It's really buggy. Run for the hills and get yourself into Lightburn as soon as possible. You're just going to be more consistent. Like anybody says like, oh, like I can't be consistent with this laser, and is usually using LaserBox Basic or some BS. I could do that. The funny thing is AP laser. So when you buy an AP laser, you have 2 one-on-one training sessions. So I did one 2 weeks ago, and then I went to Mexico, and then I had my other one this morning. But the first one is on how to like maintenance your laser. And actually, I'm curious if Rich is still in here, what he says. They're like, he's like, I clean all my mirrors and my lenses once a week, and I was like, once a week? I do that with the diode, but the only reason I do that with the diode is because it's like right there in the middle of everything. Like I always thought there was a little bit more, distance and whatnot, and it wasn't as bad. And he's like, yeah, I clean it every week. Okay. Eric says Lightburn is definitely worth the money. I agree. Man, I know where it is. Live around Beckley. Okay, so Todd, this is how long ago I lived in West Virginia, by the way. So I used to work at the Greenbrier, which is like a 5-star, one of the only 5-star resorts in the country, or well, one of the only ones in West Virginia. The only one in West Virginia. So work there, and I was talking to a guest one time, and I used to drink a lot of Monster Energy, like the old green can. Like before they had all the flavors, they had green, they had blue, and that was it. I was talking to him. I'm like, yeah, it's really hard to get here. And he's like, well, I live in Beckley and we have a distributor there. And so he basically like said, anytime you need something, just go up there and they'll sell it to you, but they'd sell it to me at cost. So I go buy like 2 cases of Monster at a time in Beckley. But I travel out of the state getting my own photos. Senior church, the second Lightburn. So, and Todd, I tell you what, man, and this goes for everybody, not just Todd. If you're doing any sort of photo engraving, Imager has either they've just started putting them out or they just started popping up on my feed. Imager has some great tutorials on how to use their software to do photos. And I would say even if you're not using Imager, which is here, we'll give you it's Imager like this. I think it's imag-r.com. I also kind of take the spanner down. It's interesting, even if you're not using it, to watch how much they overly sharpen things and whatnot to make them look good and engrave. Because you'll actually see the picture almost kind of looks like shit a little bit on the computer screen, but it engraves really well. So it's kind of nice to watch that and just see what they mess with. James, Lightburn is for a diode is $60, and then for CO2 it's another $60. So if you have both, hey Stacy, Aren't you supposed to be working? A quick hello from the UK. Just want to thank you for content. Awesome. Danny, I don't know a whole lot about it. I mean, it looks cool. That's the he's asking about the devil lobotomy. One of the guys in Kobe Schmidt, right? Built like it's a remote model for the X tool. Like you have your own like little physical hand. Let's just do this. You'll have your own little physical hand deals. Like you can move it with your like a touchscreen and stuff like that. I don't know a whole lot about it. It looks cool. I don't have one. Yeah, Louisiana hobby guy is the guy to go to for Lightburn, Lightburn everything. Also, Rich, if you're still here, well, I'll plug you anyway. If you guys are having any issue, let me find his email here. There it is. If you guys are having any issue with your machines and you can't get any answers anywhere, Rich actually has a help type situation that you can go to here. So if you want some 101, he'll walk you through it there. It's weird. Every time I post in here, I post it twice. Thanks, Rich. Let's see. What is the first thing to do after I get the X tool hooked up? Well, you take the little arm, you put your hand right under the laser. Take that little arm, you put it so it's just right on that little kickstand. Then hit 100%. No. I don't know. I have a different answer now. So once you get it set up, so Dax says, what's the first thing you do after you get your X tool hooked up? Here is my new thing. Kathleen, I got you. I would say, because I like I said, I don't always know like everybody's setup, right? I would take your X tool, I would focus it in the whatever corner, but let's say the lower left-hand corner. Okay, so you drive it over all the way to that corner, or actually, I guess you just move it with your hand. Excuse me. And flip the kickstand down and focus it. Okay, just on your surface, not on a material or anything. Okay, so make sure that kickstand's touching, and then screw your back screw in. This goes for any diode, by the way. And then I would push it all the way to the back left-hand corner. Flip that kickstand down again. What we're doing is we're going to decide if your engraving surface is level. So if that kickstand doesn't touch there, then you need to figure out why your diode isn't level. Okay, if it does, move on. Then you're going to go to your back right corner, same thing. Front right corner, same thing. What I didn't realize, and talking to some people, and when they're having when they're having their issues, is that they don't realize that, like, let's say they set their honeycomb down and it just kind of like the whole thing kind of twisted just a little bit or something like that, and they're like, well, I don't get consistent engraves, or, well, I guess not engraves, but more cutting. I don't get consistent cuts all the way. And it's like, well, because your laser's passing out of focus. And if I ever realized to tell people that when they started asking me questions, that solves a lot more problems than I really thought it did. So Dax, I know it's not sexy. I know it's not like anything crazy, but that's the first thing I would do. Second thing I would do is go see if you can engrave like your name or something in a piece of bread, because why the fuck not? So Kathleen says, Lightburn seems very intimidating. I've been trying to work through it, but tips or tricks from someone who really knows the program would also be helpful. I'm telling you, go subscribe to Louisiana Hobby Guys channel right now. He walks through so many. I mean, he was my go-to guy when I learned how to learn. When I started learning Lightburn, Louisiana Hobby Guy kept coming up over and over and over. Go watch his shit. He's very good. He's much better than me at explaining things. And he's very thorough. So I appreciate it. And I think that I mean, I like, people keep asking me to do like some Lightburn tutorials, and like maybe if Rich didn't have, like if he didn't have a tutorial out there, maybe I would consider it. But if he already has something out there, I guarantee you he has covered the subject better than I would. I'm a very fly by the seat of my pants kind of guy. Rich is like knows the shit better than I do. Let's see. Thank you guys for the donations, the super chats. What is that? And then Kathleen, one other thing that, so Rich, does Lightburn come in beginner mode, or do you have to switch it over into beginner mode? Because I feel like mine was always in, or I feel like mine has never been in beginner mode, but I would think that it would come like that. Anyway, Kathleen, if it seems overwhelming, there is I would have to go look and see exactly where it is, but you can go into the settings and you can set it to beginner mode. And what it does is it takes a bunch of like the advanced settings and stuff out, so it'll help you learn it a little bit better. Ooh. That's lunch, kids. That's a euro I had earlier. So E. Weber, appreciate it. Botaz, appreciate it. All right. I'm scrolling back now because I'm sure I've glazed over a bunch of your questions. And I actually, you know what? Here. If I've glazed over your question, okay, well then don't use Louisiana Hobby Guy says don't use beginner mode. It's harder to follow his tutorials. So if you're going to try to learn it on your own, which I don't suggest, beginner mode. If you want to watch Rich's videos, which I do suggest, no beginner mode. Okay, so we are going to hit one or two questions from the peanut gallery, if I can remember where I put them. Live stream question is okay. So you're gonna have to bear with me. You're gonna have to bear with me on this one because I think I understand this question, but I've had to read it several times. My question is there a good resource for looking at your results of a white tile fail and send images of if it came out like this, try this to fix? Okay. I think what they're asking is if they've done a fail. So we're talking the indelible white tile method or the Norton white tile method is what she's referring to. If you guys don't know what that is, I did a couple videos on it. If you look up Norton white tile method, you'll find a ton of videos on it. Basically, you take white spray paint, you put it on a white tile, and then you burn the image into the tile, and it becomes indelible, so it won't come off. What she's saying, I think, is there a good resource? So is there a good place to say, hey, listen, here's my fail, and what can I do to fix it? And I would say yes. It is my Discord channel. Ton of helpful people in there. I started mentioning this. I started mentioning my Discord channel as just as a place for lasery folk to go to, and it has increased in size. I think we're almost at 700 members now. I think we're like 250, 300 before that. So definitely a lot of good information there. And the nice thing is there's other people in there that can help you besides me, because sometimes I don't get to your question very fast. So hold on a second. I have this huge garage now, and I still don't have enough space. Okay, so that is the link to Discord. Thank you, Stacy. Cheers. Come on over, blow it up. It's it was one thing when I started my Discord channel. If Nico's still here, if Nico's still here, he is the one that encouraged me to design it, or he designed it, but he's the one that encouraged me to make it. I didn't know what Discord was, so like props to Nico for setting that up. That being said, if any of you guys are interested in modding for me, Nico has said that there's some of the finer nuances he doesn't quite know. So if somebody's like a whiz with Discord, I would love to hear anything you would have as far as improvements or optimization, because I know nothing. Yeah, like Nico said, he said sometimes, he said, and we brainstorm, which sometimes, which is nice, which is good. I go there into Patreon a lot to see, like, kind of get a litmus of all what people are wanting and needing. So if you want to support the channel, Patreon, way to go. If you like, if funds are an issue, Discord, still a great way to go. And there's a lot more helpful people. Patreon is more like you're directly in my ear. Discord is more you go ask a question and you've got a ton of helpful people there. So that kind of stuff. Let's see the next. So this question comes up all the time, and I'm going to adjust it in a video very soon. I have I will have a. I'm getting really close. You guys probably, if you follow me anywhere, really, I'm getting really close to 100,000 subs, and at my 100,000 subs video, I'm going to do kind of an intro to me and how I got from where I was to where I am. And there's some things that I'm going to address in that video, but since you are here, I will address it because I get asked it all the time. Why are my fingernails black? Well, my fingernails are painted. Why are my fingernails painted? Most of the time they're black. So I could give you a bunch of answers. Here's the one that makes me the happiest. This is a basic litmus test for you. If you're going to jump into my comments and say, why the fuck are your fingernails painted? Or I can't get over the fingernails. You are not open-minded enough for us to be friends. Okay. So that's, as I started out, I would paint my fingernails when I go on vacation just because it's fucking something to do. And then my daughter wanted to go get her fingernails painted with me. And so I will go to the nail salon and we'll get our fingers painted, and she thinks it's cool. But people seem to get really upset and bent out of shape when I have my fingernails painted in a video, which means that I'm going to double down on that shit and I'm going to fucking paint my nails all the time, unless I forget, because we support like open-mindedness here, right? We want to grow, and we want to expand. And if you can't get over my fingernails, it's I don't know, like that's just you do you. Can you put a link for Lightburn up? And which so I can. Let's see, Lightburn software. It is. Can I single them out? Let's see. Buy Lightburn. I'm going to click on it and try to give you just that link. This is, so the G code version is for diodes. So that is for diodes. If you want, if you're looking for CO2, go the other one. Very nice. Very nice. Good to hear it, William. William's got a couple of wallet projects and leather keychains. Oh my God. I don't know if you guys are going to understand. Some of you will and some of you won't. If you've spent any time at bars, or if you were a bartender when you were in college, Bartenders tend to have a different kind of bottle opener. It's a piece of it's usually a piece of metal. It's about this big. It's rounded on both ends, and then it has like a hole in one side and this bottle opener on the other. I thought they would be fun to engrave, so I got on. This is my problem with Amazon all the time. I got on Amazon. I was like, oh look, they have them, and wow, these are super cheap for like 20 of them. So you guys are like, oh, what? This should be like this and about that wide. And I have a bunch of them. Like, I don't know how many I ordered, but anyway. Stupid me not reading things. The wallet, the small the projects got me going. Awesome. Stacy, I don't know. Like, you'd have to ask Paige. I use it. So she buys my nail polish. And Yukon, exactly right. And that's the thing, man. I sometimes, you know what? I have a lot of people that like to. I don't have a lot of people. I shouldn't say that. You focus, and Rich can attest to this. You focus on the people that talk shit in your comments more than you focus on the people that fucking absolutely love you, which is just, we're just wired wrong, because you should just focus on the guys or the people that are praising you, and not the people that do that. But I was listening to the Making It podcast. I remember Dave Prosciutto said this. He's like, I can get on and I can read 20 comments, and 19 of those can be positive and one of them can be negative, and I focus on the negative one all day. And it's true, man. And but the thing is, I'm like, so I have made some changes in my life lately that will become more evident in the next couple of weeks. But one of them is that I'm done with that. So when you have a small YouTube channel, I'm not saying I have an enormous channel, but when you have a small YouTube channel, you want every subscriber. As you get bigger, you realize that number is not necessarily the biggest thing in your life. And I'm not keeping around people on my channel that want to talk shit. So if somebody asking me why I paint my fingernails versus like being ignorant about it are two different things. I had somebody say, hey, listen, why do you paint your fingernails? Like, I just figure, like, if you're wearing a clown suit, I could ask you that. Perfectly acceptable. We can discuss. But I get these, what the fuck's wrong with this? What the fuck's up with this guy's nails? It's immediate, like, removal from the channel. Just done. Like, I don't need your energy in here. I don't need your energy around my subs. Done. So that's, we'll discuss that more later, but that's kind of a new jam, kids. Kind of a new jam. Thank you, Todd. Appreciate it, brother. Oh, and Melissa, they get really hung up on stuff. Like, I wore a shirt one time that this still cracks me up. I'm dumbfounded that somebody made this political. I know why they made it political, but it was funny. I have a picture that has Slash from Guns N' Roses on it, smoking a cigarette. And it says Kanye West, never heard of her. Basically saying that I'm such a badass musician that I've never even heard this huge rap star guy, right? Funny to me. I have people be like, what's up with that Kanye shirt? And I don't know, like, Kanye said something like either pro-liberal or pro-Republican. I don't even know what it was, but somehow they got all bent out of shape and made that a thing. And I'm like, bro, it's just a funny shirt. Okay, William. So Todd, just out of curiosity, why can you not drink anymore? Honestly, I've not tried Slain Irish whiskey. That's it'd be a question for Rich too, if he's here. Rich is a whiskey guy. What is? I'm not a huge Irish whiskey guy. Don't get me wrong. I like Irish whiskey. I just like, I don't necessarily lean towards it, but Slain, I'm not familiar with it. I'll have to keep an eye out for it. So alien, that is actually, anytime you see me and I have my fingernails painted and they're not black, that is definitely because I took my daughter to the nail salon. Thanks, Wood Rocks. Todd, you're absolutely true. You're absolutely right. I do tend to poke the bear. Elaine said I always figure when you rile people, and I'm like, listen, here's the deal. I try to be as PC as possible on my channel with still being me. Let's be clear. Let's be clear. I could have grown this channel a lot faster if I would have been less or more couth, let's say. But I'm not pinning up people's shit anymore. I used to like try to talk to those people and stuff like that. I'm just gonna fuck them. Let's see. I'm sorry if I keep looking at my watch. There is an app that I have to I have to remove the reminders off because it just keeps going on. So Slain Whiskey, I'll have to check it out. Do you know if it's so Suze says, do you know if it's possible to use an electric router on plywood? I saw your live and figured you might know. An electric router on plywood. Yeah, absolutely. What are you trying to do, Suze? To be clear, you can absolutely use a router on plywood. If you're not really familiar with routers, I would suggest Googling which way to run the router. And the reason I say that is because I have to Google it every time. I can never remember. But if you're going if you're going one way versus the other, you will get more tear out, and it's more dangerous. Okay, so you're trying to route out slots. What kind of slots are you trying to route out, Suze? I'm just I can give you a better answer. So Elaine, yeah, they always say like once when you have haters, that means you're doing something right, and it is. But like, man, like I am so over so many things. But every once in a while, man, I have a day where I'm a little sensitive or something, and I wake up and I read a comment, and my thing is, I'm like, I want to end you, like I want to I want to make you cry, and I'm like, I have to get over this. Like I have shit to do today, and like focusing on that is not something I need to do. Oh, geez. Jesus, Todd, brother, I am sorry. I will cheers you with the last of that drink and say, I hope weed is legal wherever you are. Yukon, if you have questions, if you have a specific question, let me know. If you have general questions, check out Louisiana Hobby Guys website. Let's see. So DGS, he says, I'm ordering the X-Tool 20 watt. I have the X-Tool 10 watt. Do you think that's a good choice? So if you're ordering the new head, the new laser head, I would say yes. If you're ordering a whole new device, I would maybe take a look at the Atazer. It's a little cheaper and a little less, like has a little less issue with the I want to say software. It's not the software, the firmware. But I will say this: it is like the speed and power is definitely worth the upgrade. So if you're just going for the laser head, do that. If not, you may want to look at the Atazer. Alien, I think whatever she's trying to do is 100% to lay flat. So Suze, yes, and this is the reason, Alien, this is the reason I was curious. What I would look into doing though is making like a small jig, Suze, for that, something that you can that has enough area for the base of the router, and and then like has rails on the side, and that way you can like drop it in, run one, move that jig over, drop it in, run another one. If that makes sense. Let's see. T-track, Nico, Sharpie the rotation on the router base. Oh yeah, that's not a bad idea. Nico says, pro tip for the router: Sharpie the rotation on the router base from where you are looking at it from. So rotation on the bottom and rotation on the top. It is a really good thing. I'm still gonna Google it. Sorry, Nico. Steel Senpai is giving you the like a good way to remember it that I have read a million times, and I'm like, is it that way? Hey Todd, where are you, Todd? What part of the country? William, to where'd you send him? Fred, I really like it. Somebody gave me a bunch of shit because, well, I always get shit whenever I review anything, for giving it kind of like above average marks, but it's a capable machine. It's still on the bench, so I haven't boxed it up and donated it yet. So let's see, Alien. It's the same thing, man. I would say if you're already an X Tools ecosystem, I would upgrade to the 20 watt. If you're not, now keep in mind, like a Tesla is a kind of a baby machine as far as I'm concerned, but I think it runs pretty well. What's up, Ed? Just bought. Let's see. Okay, Kara says, I just bought the 20 watt and I have zero idea what I'm doing. I've watched videos and feel a bit lost. No, a lot lost. Okay, so Rich, you just missed me singing your praises over and over and talking about the Atezzer a little bit. Kara says, I just bought the 20 watt and I have no idea what I'm doing. I've watched videos and I feel a bit lost. No, a lot lost. So Kara, like, give me the most basic thing that you're lost on. Terry, I get a lot of shit about a lot of things. I posted something that was like pseudo political, but I just thought it was funny and got lambasted for it. No, Todd, fuck, you are in West Virginia. I'm sorry. I would like some, like, either a program or just like, it could be auto. Just like I would like a F-bomb counter that just goes, just so I know. Todd, you're in the middle. West Virginia is known for like Greenbrier green, dude. Like, that should not be hard to find. And it's something else that it cracks me up about Virginia, West Virginia. In case you guys don't know, is it's big moonshine country, and so I've been to. We've been to parties with like people that are like way up here and way down here, like social economical, and everybody has a jar of moonshine in their freezer. And so if you go over there and you're, partying or whatever, or like a dinner party or other kind of party, whatever, at some point in time, you finding out what kind of moonshine they got. So, Kara, okay, Kara, do me here. Let's do this. This is going to be easier. Email me there, and we can kind of walk around, walk through it. ETSA. Rich, man, like so many of these companies, I still remember, like, what is it, Gweiki or whatever? Like, I saw somebody review one of those the other day, and they're like, it's either Giwiki or Gawaiki. I'm like, y'all need to stop coming up with shit. So, Kara, the thing is, like, if you take it into SES, I can't remember if you can. I can't remember if you can ungroup in SCS. SES. I can't remember if you can do that. So email me and we can walk through it. That's no big deal. Right? Is it GWiki? I don't even know. And the sad thing is you can't ask them because a lot of times they don't speak English, so they can't see they don't understand the barrier. Like they don't understand why we can't say it. And I'm like, well, stop coming up with these like ridiculous names for it. Like I said, the Tether is like, what is it, the 20 pillow plus or something weird. It's just an oddball terminology. I know that everybody's trying to have like the cool shit, but okay. I just knocked off my Iron Man head. Hold on. Okay, so we have another question that came in earlier, which is what softwares are user-friendly for beginners with the X-Tool D110 10 watt? I feel so limited with LaserBox. I feel so limited with LaserBox Basic with only like 5 material settings to choose from. So we've already addressed this a lot, but I will say it again, just because for everybody to hear it after the question. Lightburn. But if you like, if you're really not ready for Lightburn yet, which I would say some people aren't, XCS it's decent. It is in its beta. It has a lot of issues, which is why it's kind of hard to suggest to people. Like at least LaserBox like filled the same all the time. Okay, so like if you're having a problem in LaserBox Basic and you told me, I could be like, it's this. SCS is, since it's in its beta and they're still kind of changing stuff around, it's not always the same thing. So I would say LaserBox Basic for 10 to 15 engraves and cuts, maybe, just to get you familiar with the machine and to not ruin a ton of material, and then immediately get into Lightburn and try to figure it out. Actually, what I would do is as I was doing those cuts and those engraves in XCS or whatever, like LaserBox, whatever, either one you're using, I would already have X-Tool. I would already have the Lightburn open and start looking at what you're doing and kind of making comparisons. Todd says, just remember it ain't real moonshine if you pay taxes on it. And that is absolutely correct, but I don't think I've ever paid for moonshine. Usually people offer you moonshine. I agree. Hey, Rich, Rich, can you post a link? If you can't, email it to me. Email me the link to that video, and I'll put it up. Yukon says, which to download? Windows 64, Windows 32-bit, Mac OS, or Linux? Well, what are you running, brother? Okay. Oh, I already talked about this, but we'll talk about it again. Just real quick. Are there any budget-friendly lasers that will cut half-inch cedar? I've been looking to getting a laser for most engraving, but I'd like to find one that cuts too. So all lasers, well, pretty much most lasers will cut. But this is when you get into that whole like when I do a video or one-off where I'm like, oh man, look, I cut like this little circle out of pine, like 1-inch pine, and there's really no reason to ever have to do that. Like if you had to do that once and that was the only tool you had at your disposal, then yes. But it's not time appropriate. Maybe like it's just too time consuming. It just doesn't make sense to do that. So I mean, if you're trying to cut 1/2-inch cedar, you go really high powered CO2, I would think, and have a decent speed on that. But I mean, I almost be looking at like a CNC or like like I said, a bandsaw or scroll saw. I don't know exactly what you're doing, but you're not doing that. I mean, so many times. Yes, you could do it with a diode. Probably take you 7 years. All right. Double watching. My dad used to run it years ago. So Todd, I think it's funny. He's talking about his dad used to run moonshine, and there was so we cut the cord as far as TV goes, like 10, 12 years ago. And I've discovered one thing. If you're flipping through the channels and you get sucked into a show because you just happen to land on there, you're halfway through it, like, what the fuck are these guys doing? Elaine, count it. And then you get sucked in for like 3 or 4 episodes. You just like sit there and watch. That's totally acceptable. You know, it's not totally acceptable to like look up Moonshiners on Netflix and watch them. Moonshiners. I love that show. It's still on, apparently. I think it's still on. It was still on like a year or 2 ago. Rich, 20 millimeter? So, but like, are like, again, are we talking like a time thing? 5 passes, 400 millimeters. Actually, that's not too bad. Wow. So Rich said I just cut 20 millimeter Western cedar on the Tazer 20 watt, 24 watt. And he did 5 passes, 400 millimeters per minute. So I stand corrected. That's actually not, I mean, it's not super slow. Again, like a CNC would do it faster, but if you want a more versatile unit, if you want to be able to engrave other things and cut other things, that's not bad. I thought it would be worse. What's up, Chris? Billy, yeah. I thought, well, shit. I got you. Move this. Well, hello, Jessica. All right, let's see. We got a couple more. Let's see. Actually, I only got one more. Let's see. Nick, you're pretty damn crim. Oh, yeah, that's why I put this down here. So, without all the nice stuff that you said, would like to know what started you on this journey, and did you go to school for design? I did not go to school for design. I actually, and this is funny, I actually went to school for film production, and spent most of my working career not working in that. And then one day, I was telling somebody what I do, and they were like, "Oh, so you actually using your major?" And I'm like, "Oh shit, I am now." But I did spend some time as a graphic designer. I do a lot of artsy stuff. But what landed me here? Let's see. Sorry, I was just checking my thing. I thought Rich sent me a link. I was working in insurance. And I didn't like it. I was an insurance adjuster for motor vehicle accidents, and I didn't like my job anyway, but I started to have kind of some health issues, and I started to have some stomach issues and whatnot, and it already started the channel at that point. And my wife and I had already talked about, hey, once you hit this number and once you start making this amount of money, I was going to quit my job and go full time on YouTube. So that's always been the goal. But I started having these stomach issues and whatnot, and they started getting really bad. Like I would literally just like be in the couch like at night when we were watching TV, and I'd be doubling over because it would just like I was getting these like kind of clinchy deals. So I went and saw like a gazillion, as my kid would put it, a gazillion doctors. I had all sorts of tests run, ultrasounds, colonoscopy, all that stuff, and I think the colonoscopy is the last thing. But my GI doc, my gastrointestinal doc, suggested a GI deal. He did the GI, and he's like, basically, you're clean as a whistle. And I'm like, okay, so we've gone on this whole journey, doc, and I have no answers. And he's like, well, there could be one thing. He's like, one thing that doesn't show up on any test is stress. And I hated my job. I didn't like going there. My boss was a Nimrod. I'm sure you can all relate. But I just was unhappy in general. And anything I tried to do to change it didn't do anything. So I sat down with my wife and we said, or I said, you know, my stressor in my life is my job. And we kind of took a look at our finances and we said that we could, it was possible. We could make it. We just have to cut out some things and whatnot. So I went in and I quit my job, and I almost immediately felt fantastic. So, here's where we are, man. Like, I just, I don't suggest everybody go run out and quit their job if they can't. We were just happen to be in a great position to do it, but I feel amazing. And then, so the only caveat to that is, and it doesn't have anything to do with like actually my job or what I do, is that my mom's been in the hospital for a while. So I start getting that gut thing, and I know that now I know what it is. Like I have to take care of all the finances stuff for that. So I know why I'm stressed on that one, but that was the thing, man. I kind of what I did because I wanted to do something I liked. So Aussie, there's a reason for that. They're a little bit more high end. You can find prices. You got to hunt around for a little bit more, but they really want you to contact them so they can kind of direct you towards what unit you would be looking for. Let me give you. Oh wait, Rich just sent this. Okay. All right. This is your 101 video, right, Rich? This is Rich's 101 video to check out. Maybe. Did that go? Okay. Let's see. And then what did Jessica say? With crystals. Did you ever get a chance to laser engrave the crystals? You mean these? I have not yet. I keep getting I keep meaning to, but I only have 4 of them, and they're very cool. I'm on it, Jessica. I really am. So George, I buy those from Enduramark. It is called engravable plastic, and what I do is I cut them out of a sheet. Excuse me. Not used to having to climb over that much shit. So I cut them out like this, and then I laminate them together so they have a front and a back, because the back of the stuff is white. And then I sand the edges down a little bit, put a key ring on them, and I sell them. If George, you are going to check out Enduramark's site, Duramark.com, and want to check them out, use promo code BLUE15. It's 15% off your order. It's so Enduramark stuff's not cheap, but it's good. Like, we like it. She makes sure. Chris, fucking right on. So Chris says, discovered your burnt wood flag video. Tried one. It is. I think it's supposed to be. It has turned into a part-time job. It says it has not, but I think that's just a typo. The wife has jumped on board. She makes crafty stuff. Turned it into a nice side hustle. Thank you for the start. Absolutely. When I first started on YouTube, I just wanted to make money. Now I really kind of want to help you guys out. I'm doing great. But it's more about the conversation than the videos, I think. So I think this kind of interaction is actually probably better for people than videos. I realize this is much longer to watch, but I think it's like I think you get more out of this. I think you get more out of the interaction. Discovery. How many percent have a moonshine? How many percent? How many? So I'm gonna butcher this guy's name. Anders Zag. He says, how many percent have a moonshine? I don't know if he's asking how many percent, how many people have had moonshine, or what percentage it is. Percentage wise, can you? I know you can measure it. Do people measure it? Ed, you gotta go look for it. Michael, he says, hi from Switzerland. What do you think is the best engraving tool for whiskey glasses? CO2. Because CO2 will engrave glass directly. A diode, you have to use some sort of transfer agent or some sort of marking agent. Rich, much appreciated once again. Rich is blowing it up. Oh, so Todd's already got that. How far am I behind? I'm trying to catch up. Jessica, what kind of stuff do they have? Termark. Wow, I'm like way behind on even where I was. Take us through. So Jessica, laser dark isn't laser dark is a spray after the fact. So laser dark is something that you would engrave and actually engrave into the item, but you wouldn't be able to like quite see it very well, and then you would put laser dark on it afterwards. Chris, I am the reason everybody lights things on fire. I make no excuses, and I deny nothing. So Jessica, I'm not exactly sure why you're what you're I'm not sure exactly what you think the spray is going to do. So like a marking spray, like Enduramark or something like that, is an agent that goes on a surface, and when you heat it, it bonds that agent to the surface. Laser dark is meant to spray on after the fact, and that's usually for wood. And when you engrave wood, if you mask it first, you engrave it, but it's not really dark, and then you spray the laser dark on top of it, it makes it darker, if that makes sense. But I'm not, I think you're using the wrong medium for what you're trying to accomplish. Steel. So yes, I do. Okay. So one thing is we are going to do we're getting very close to doing another Sugar Bomb video that's going to be kind of a look back and a look forward, I guess. I don't like to do a lot of Sugar Bomb videos now that the garage is air conditioned during the summer, because if I have to open the garage up to do the Shishugibon to pull the torches out and everything, it takes forever to get the temperature back down in here. So as it gets cooler out here, we'll probably see a little bit more Shishugibon. Ed, I don't know, but I think it would. I mean, so Jessica, the charcoal Enduramark should work. Is it not? So Enduramark has a product called charcoal for glass and ceramic, I believe, and that is something that will mark glass and ceramic in dark and in kind of a black. When I do it with the diode, I almost get I'm looking to see if I have something laying around here. I almost get like a kind of a gunmetal gray to it, but when I do it on a diode, it's black. And that stuff is fantastic. Works great. Chris, I absolutely believe it. So Chris said, I saw your review of the Tezer. They said to get different colors with their laser on aluminum, you have to mess with the linear intervals and defocusing. And I totally believe that. When I do that initial video, I'm not about doing that. You know, I'd like in a future video I would play with that, but that gets way too granular for somebody that just might be looking at the machine. Excuse me. All right, Andy. So Andy says, I used to do all sorts of sugar band during the summer, and I would just be covered in all sorts of ash and everything else, and I'm like, it's just so much more comfortable to do it in here with like do the laser thing in the garage when it's cool. KJ, do we need to talk? So Chris, yeah, I like, I'm a big fan of the Tezer, and I'm not like you know, I mean, just so you guys know, like I was like a lot of times when somebody sends me a unit, like we have some sort of affiliate deal worked out. Like if you buy units from me or like go through them or whatever, I get a residual about it. Or not a residual. I get like a sum of that. But I still try to be very clear about what I like and what I don't like. And the Tezer is I'm pretty happy with that machine. I like it. Oh, KJ, you're referring to the last video. Got it. I've had like, I mean, come on, man. We've been drinking since 2. Honduras. Thank you, Edward. Rich, I have to agree with you. So Rich, Louisiana hobby guy, again, if you guys are just joined, he said, affiliate or not, the Tezer is by far the best diode laser I've ever tested. And I have 100%. Okay, just so you guys know, Rich and I do not normally agree on things. We don't. Like, he has his things, I have my things. 100%, I agree with Rich. So there you go. I mean, there's two big issues with it as far as I'm concerned. And the first thing is you can't see the focus. And that's the only thing I can think of right now. That was the one thing that really stuck out in my head. I know that I had another one in the video. But yeah, geez. I need to have a meet and greet someplace. I don't like people. Okay, Jay, I'm sorry. I usually go to like some events. You can take that shield off? Are you kidding me? Did you just pop the window out, or is there a whole thing that comes off? So there's a whole thing that comes off. Like, that's a fucking game changer. Rich, come on, man. I got time for this shit. I'm a point and shoot kind of guy. Thanks, Dace. If it was close to STL, are you saying St. Louis? I mean, I'm in Houston now, but I grew up in St. Louis. There is also Rich. I don't know if you're aware or going, but AP Laser is having I think they call it LaserCon in Houston. So, Michael, yes. I promote X-Tool because I really like X-Tool. I really do. You know what? I get paid when you buy something from X-Tool. I try to be completely transparent about that. However, I recently tried out the Tezer, and I will say that if you buy a Tezer through my link, I will also get paid. But I do like that unit a little bit better. It's recent. Rich, it's where's my phone? It's like the first week in November or something. The funny thing is, I had to ask them about it. I'm like, I thought you would want me to come or something. Let's see. What is today? It is November 3rd and 4th. All right, wait a second. All right, George, I see it. Give me a second there. I'm confused. So, Michael, I try to promote what comes across at the time, and I don't know how many videos of mine I've seen. I do a lot of X-Tool videos because I do like the X-Tool things. But like the Tezer, like most recently, has tested a little better. Okay, let's see. Katie. Katie says, "Oh, okay, it's not really a question, but she says, "Hi, Nick. I'm also on the whiskey here, in the UK, but I have it with lemonade, which sounds delicious." Let's see. Also, currently cutting stuff with my X-Tool D1 Pro laser extension. Whoop whoop. So wait, George, and Durmark discount didn't work. So try. Can I just respond to you? Try sexy 15, but also make sure they're all capitals. Sexy 15, SEXY 15. You know how to spell sexy. All right, brother. All right, Rich. So Michael, here is somebody did ask me about the rotary tool and the Tezer. The answer is I don't know. Xtool has said that it is compatible with all diode lasers. They've also said that if you get it and you don't have the cable, to contact them and they will supply you with the cable. So I'm thinking of trying. But you know, whatever. Rich, you can stay here if you want, dude. I have a guest room. Just like don't scare my children. All right. I think I'm out of questions over here. Do we have any other questions over here? And while that is happening, I will plug a couple of things just to do it. One, go join Discord. If you're interested at all in finding out things about your laser, right? Go join Discord. If you want to support the channel, you can always do it at Patreon. I'll give you that link. Go check that out. One of the things that we will discuss at a later date is if you guys think I should open up channel memberships, because I haven't yet, and I'm like, YouTube's kind of harassing me to do it, which is fine. I don't like putting my to be perfectly honest with you, I'm not really happy with how Patreon's format is, but I also don't like putting all my eggs in one basket. Figure the firmware steps on a homemade rotary. Who's homemaking rotaries, Ed? Pretty sure if you can homemake your rotary, that you should be able to figure out how it works. All right. So Jessica, was the joining confusing to you, or are you just confused? William is actually absolutely correct. I will say this. This is very interesting to me about Patreon. Is I thought I went in and I made four tiers because that's what they suggested, right? So I made a $3 tier, a $5 tier, a $15 tier, and a $30 tier. Totally thinking that like 95% of the people would come in at the $3 tier, and I was not expecting how many people would come in the top two tiers. It's crazy. With the Xtool, hold on. Okay, so shit, you guys just got crazy on me. Have you tried Xtool? Wait. Have you tried to laser on carbon fiber? I have not. Rich, have you done any carbon fiber? I get this question all the time. I just don't know. Yeah. Ed says, would the Xtool laser module fit on an Artur laser Master 3? Absolutely not. So Xtool is very proprietary and all over the things. Like one thing I will say about like Artur stuff is at least like you can kind of Frankenstein it a little bit, not Xtool's. Pops, yes. That's what I was just talking about to Rich about. I will be there. I thought they were gonna like. I sent them an email. I'm like, hey, so you guys you guys have a thing in Houston, and I'm in Houston. And they're like, yeah, it's cool. If you want to buy a ticket, we'll see you there. So I will be there. I will not be there as an influencer, which I thought I was gonna be. I will just be there as some dude that is probably not supposed to be drinking on the floor, and I am. Michael, so I think so. Michael says, Nick, you think without YouTube, your business continues to run or goes down? So I would say goes down because my business is YouTube to a certain degree. So my side hustles, like the other things that I do that like bring me back around to here, would still keep me afloat. But if I wasn't making videos for a living, yes, I would I would yeah, it would like I like the build dad build uh moniker or whatever tank. Jessica, just email me. We'll talk. We'll talk offline. We like you're. I appreciate your enthusiasm, but we're talking really specific stuff that I'll need to dial in with you. Good to know, pops. Rich, I'm sorry. What I missed something. What did you email me a 3D printed roller? Is that just for pens? I don't know what that is. Ed, I have. It's sitting right here. So Ed says, have you checked out the actual infrared laser? And I'll actually I don't know. Like Rich, did you get one? I know you talked about it. I'm I'm underwhelmed. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with it. So to me, it's a very specific thing. If you want to do tiny, like little jewelry things, it's probably okay. It takes time. Like it takes way too much time to do anything big. So the thing is, it's like, okay, so you're looking at this and you're like, okay, well, like the little fiber marker that I have over there, the M1, it's got a 70 by 70 engraving surface. So tiny, right? I'm like, yeah, but it does it really fast. So this, it's just a very specific, like like I always talk about innovation, and I feel like this is the wrong way to innovate. Okay, I think having the IR laser. Now, granted, if you're going to do small stuff all the time, fucking right on. So shit, Rich, that's fully functional. But to me, I mean, it's just okay. I don't know how much is like it's worth it if you really want to be in one kind of area of what you're going to do with it. Aussie. So Aussie says, so you didn't say why you like the Atezzer over the X-Tool. A multi. Okay, excuse me. This might be my mom. Hold on. Hello.
can put me down somewhere.
I can put you down somewhere. All right. Put you down right there. Oh. What? Who am I calling? I'm talking to some of the cupcakes. Hi. Hello there. All right.
Hello, you distinguished gentlemen.
Hello, you distinguished gentlemen. Sorry. For those of you who don't know, my mom's in a nursing home, and they call me from time to time, and it gets interesting. Okay. Let's see. So Jessica, I don't know yet. My answer to that is I don't know. I was kind of I was kind of a no on the 20 watt until I was testing it on a live stream, and it did some stuff that I was like, wow, this would save you so much time. Man, I'm sorry he's not around. I found a really interesting thing out about AP Laser today. When I was in my little training, I was like, you guys talk a lot about like laser engraving, like headstones and monuments and coffins. And that's weird to me because other companies don't do that. And it turns out that the founder of AP Laser used to sell granite for monuments to I guess I would say funeral homes, but like whoever, cemeteries, I guess. And he realized that like the way they were doing it, they were sandblasting the stuff on the monument. And he's like, oh, you can make this so much more accurate with a laser. So he started the first laser he ever built for production was meant to do monuments. And that's the reason they always refer to that, which I did not know that. Excuse me again. Scott says, well, Gary says, I just want to say hi. Scott says, as it jumps, I did a video with my X tool and I'm getting hit like, had you been with a lot of offers for things? So I think he's getting like, people are asking him to make him things. I'm not saying this isn't going to change, but my primary focus for a very long time was YouTube. So I would do the occasional commission, but I don't really, that's not what I'm trying to do. Now I am trying to like develop some like business models that supply me with extra income. But if somebody like just like, don't make people stuff for free, dude. Charge them. Oh, no more reviews. Yeah, I am. Oh, Alien, don't get me started on the misunderstandings. Jesus. Rich, really? That is I was just surprised. Like it's not shocking to me that it can be done. It's shocking to me that they like AP Laser and their eco structure, like that's what like even the employees talk about it a lot. Scott, it varies. All right, guys. So we've been rolling for like what, about 2 hours? Yeah, about 2 hours. So I appreciate everybody's input. I appreciate everybody's like discussion. If anybody has like any like legit questions that I totally missed, please post them now. I'm always here to answer questions, but know that we will we'll start doing this on a regular basis. Thanks, Todd. Mark, I love this laser. The thing is, it's so enormous that I have to like kind of figure out what I'm going to do with it. My thought was this, like, since it'll engrave on granite, right? Like, hook up with a company that does like backdoor patios and stuff like that for high end. And let's say you want to do like, your backdoor patio with like granite countertops. Wouldn't it be cool if you had like your family's name or crest in there? And the reason I'm looking at that, and like, this is the things that I want you guys to understand, is that gives me like zero overhead, right? Like, I have somebody bring me the piece of granite or whatever, engrave it on there, and then it goes out the door. I don't have to have a bunch of stock. I don't have to have a bunch of upfront things. So like, damn it, Rich, what link? Jessica, I work with epoxy all the time. It sucks, but I love it. I was making I don't like these, like, you've never seen them, other than I might have shown them on maybe an Instagram or something. But this is walnut, like a little coffin with epoxy in it. I don't like it, but what are you gonna do? Scott, we're Elijah Craig, small batch, fantastic whiskey for the price, especially if you're a beginner or if you're just me. Steel Senpai. So yeah, but it's a 2-day of con. Like, you're gonna be there for 2 days from 9 to 5. Well, you should be there from 2 days from 9 to 5. Jessica's still killing me. You have video? I'm not exactly sure what you're talking about. No, I don't, because so that was a CNC video, and I made so many things for that video, and I didn't like any of them, so I have not. I do have some epoxy videos very early on in my my library. There's epoxy videos. And I love me some Total Boat. Like, I work with them all the time. I just like haven't had like great opportunities lately to fix the stuff. Pops, yeah, no shit. Like, I knew it was a big thing. I just didn't realize they were having one in Houston, and then all of a sudden it popped up in my thing. And I would think, I mean, not to be a dick, but I would think that you would want the local, AP laser influencer to be there. And they're like, yeah, get a ticket. I'm like, all right, I'll be there anyway. Jessica, I didn't mean to blow you off. I like, let's hold on. I just got to scroll way back. We're talking. So I really am thinking about a couple of my really early on videos. I was doing hand-graved carvings. So I think I might go back to this and either try to do them on the laser or the CNC. Jessica, I'm almost there. I have like 300 something videos, so. Oh shit, did I go too far? I missed it, man. Where's that little dude? All right, we'll give you this one. All right, Jessica. Here you go. That's like one of the better ones of mine. Take it easy, Alien. Aussie, I'm sorry. Did I miss you again? So let's go super basic. X-Tool, great machine. If you're already in the X-Tool ecostructure, stay there. If you're not and you're looking for your first laser engraver, I would say a Tezer. Please use my affiliate link if you do that. Because I feel like it has a larger engraving area. It's a little less buggy. And it's a little bit more powerful. And Ed K is correct. Don't buy a back-end laser. Back-end laser. Alien laser is absolutely correct. The after party is there for you. I will be eating dinner. Absolutely, Alan. Alan says, just been sitting back enjoying the conversation, which is what this is. So again, I really want you guys to understand that this, I'm trying to do this for you guys. Like, I want you guys to get something out. Like, I want you guys to get something more out of this than me sitting here talking to you for 2 hours, right? I don't know what that looks like yet. We'll figure it out. But I don't know if it's like we're going to sit down, we're going to figure out one person's problem, or we're going to sit down and figure out a bunch of people's problems. But that is the fucking point of this. Thanks, Sammy. I have a X-Carve. So Tammy said you mentioned you have an X-Carve, I'm sorry, CNC. Which one do you have? I have an X-Carve. Nico, you're still awake? Cheers, brother. Yeah, Nico, just let me know. Like, if you like, yeah, we can absolutely do that. Like, I can pick up veneer whenever. So I still got like 45 of you folks hanging around. So if you have questions, if you're tired of me talking, also, like, I'm totally fine with that. I just I'm trying to gauge also length of these. So let me know. If you guys are done, like, legit just log out. It will like that metric will help me. Thanks, Ed. Thanks, Billy. So I have been live for like 2 hours. So wait, oh, Tammy's talking. Oh, thanks, Tammy. I appreciate that. You guys should read the comments. They're fantastic. All right, guys. I think I am out for this evening, but I appreciate your feedback. If anybody's watching this after the live happened, please let me know in the comments down below, like the kind of things, like what time is better for you, what you want to see done as far as like what do you want to see lasered, like do you want to see more diode content, do you want to see more CO2 content? Understand that you'll get both of those anyway, but let me know. All right, thanks, Ed. I appreciate it, and I'm out.